it's Molly with Sensible Stitches, and I wanted to talk about May a little bit. It's April 30th, and my plans have changed so much. I'm not sure if anybody else has gone this direction. First, I went from thinking I was going to do maynia and a lot of starts, and I decided I was going to do maynia, and I pulled 5 new starts, one for each Saturday. I think maybe that was Stephanie with Lindy Stitches that came up with that, and I thought that would be great. So I had some things that were fully kitted. The Blue Delft Sampler by Joan Elliott. Let's see if I can show it without getting a glare. Ink Circles, Forest of Sumatra. This is a design by Sarah from Italy, and I cannot pronounce her name. I fully kitted Ann Thomas. And Forget Me Not, Blackbird Designs. And I was ready to rock and roll. I was gonna start one a week, and they're all pretty big projects. Some of them are big projects. And yesterday, my son had a little bit of an episode first thing in the morning. He's almost 22 years old, and he has Down syndrome, and he kind of got off balance, and I had to kind of help hold him up. And it was alarming, and it shook me. He's had 13 surgeries, and a couple of them have been heart surgeries. And so it scared me, and I thought, I don't know why, but I immediately thought, I'm scrapping all of my maynia plans. I'm not doing any of that. I am only gonna stitch on bright, fun, happy stuff during the month of May that will make my children feel happy. I just want things that are maybe not unsophisticated in the design work, because I think that artists have to have the same level of sophistication to design something that's meant for a juvenile that they have to have in order to design something that's intended for adult eyes, but things that maybe look a little bit more juvenile by nature. So that's what I have decided to do, and I'm not starting things. I'm going to be finishing things that I have started for my 3 children, and that's it. I'm going to work on, I think it's the Gable Stitcher said that she has done like only cross stitch finishes during one of her maynias, and I think that I'm leaning that direction. I have one potential new start, but it is also bright and loud. It's not a monochromatic blue sampler, or it just isn't. We're going a completely different direction for me this year. My son is doing great. I spoke with his cardiologist, and they think that when he woke up in the morning, he went from a laying position to a standing position too quickly. And because his heart rate and pulse tend to run a little bit lower by nature, he just experienced kind of extreme dizziness. It scared me. I didn't know if he was having a seizure. I didn't know what was going on. So it made me nervous, but he's fine. He's doing great today. He's participating in his educational program again starting tomorrow. They Zoom from home, so he'll be back to regularly scheduled programming as of tomorrow. He's doing great. But these are the things that I'm going to work on, and I think I'll start by showing the piece that I am working on specifically for Chandler, since he helped make the decision for me. And I have not pulled this out in ages, and it is probably so wrinkled. Okay, this is the Steampunk Bumblebee by Sam Sarah. Let me make sure this is Sam Sarah. Yes, Sam Sarah. Oh my gosh, is that the cutest? And it is on a 32 count that I Rit dyed. see which direction does it go here. This is so fun. And it doesn't look like I have that much done, but I've got his back and I've got part of his wing and some of his little suction cup hands. And he is bright and he is funky, and I am going to stitch that face. So that is one of my picks for May. Cute. Let's see. My next pick for May was chosen by my youngest daughter, June, and she, for her kindergarten recital, they memorized just a ton of Beatles songs. And so she was exposed to Beatles music starting at a really young age. And so when I saw this Blackbird Designs, I thought of her. And so she has helped me with everything. She's helped me with, I also dyed the fabric for this. And she helped me select the floss. She has been an awesome help. She's now in the 5th grade, but I think that it makes for a really fun memory of that year when they sang those songs and had that fun. So anyways, that's the fun one I'm going to be working on for my youngest daughter, June. And I actually did work on that a little bit during April. The piece that I started for my middle daughter, Fern, is currently in craft prison, and I'm not getting it out. So I am going to finish a piece that's really fun from this book, Fables and Fairy Tales, that I got this book at Joann's a while back. And I have been working on this super cute, super fun red sampler. Let's see if I can get it to focus. And it has all of, it's French, and it has a poem about picking cherries in the woods, and it's beautiful. And I am going to rechart that small bottom alphabet to reflect the fact that I've stitched just during the quarantine, because I started it in April. And I also replaced one of the called for DMCs with Weeks Dye Works Cherry Cobbler on this one. So this one is a whip. Let's see. And I am getting pretty close. I've got the stitching complete. I need to go back through. This one is very backstitch heavy. So I'll need to go back through and backstitch everything so that the little cherries and notes come alive and the children's faces, and you'll be able to tell what the letters are, and all of the words from the French poem are backstitch. So anyways, that's where I am on this one, and I'm excited about working on it again. And while I was in the Fables and Fairy Tale book, I thought about my middle daughter. She is 13, and she's autistic, and she has some interests that are really fun, and maybe not what some people might consider age appropriate, but age is just, I mean, chronological age and developmental age do not have to go hand in hand. And if she's not into teenager stuff right now, then more power to her. That's fine by me. And so I am considering stitching one of 2 patterns, cross-stitch patterns from this book that I think that she would love, either one of these, because she loves the stories. So there's Jack and the Beanstalk, and he's so beautiful. Oh, with the golden goose and the castle in the sky. And I really like, I really like that the colors are pretty, but maybe a little bit more muted. This goes maybe a little more along the lines of Amy Loves Toads than a lot of the other stuff I've shown you. I'm sure that's considered pretty garish by a lot of people's standards. And then the second thing that I'm considering for her, and I love this one, but I wish that Thumbelina had facial features. So this is Thumbelina, and it's so pretty. And that, like I said, the design is sophisticated. They're beautiful. It's beautiful work. So I don't know, I'm considering just adding a little mouth, because something about it I just think that they could use some little facial features. So those are the two that I'm considering for my middle daughter. And before I recorded this, I thought to myself, this is my very first Flosstube. These people are gonna think that I only cross stitch on hot pink or turquoise or stitch babies, or I don't know. I got kind of concerned about that. So I thought I would bring a couple of whips, not all of them, but a few, just so that you know that not everything that I stitch is for little children. Let's see, I am working on, I just started this one, but I'm gonna put it away during May. Swan Lake by Blackbird Design, and I'm making this one for our nanny. And we haven't seen her in forever. We are rule followers. And I've just got a tiny start on the border, but I think it's really beautiful, and I will put her anniversary information on there. She and her husband are like a part of our family. We have known them for, goodness, 11 and a half years. And so my children are really, really close to both she and her husband. So I need to get back to work on that, I guess, in June. Her birthday is in August, so I'd like to get it to her by then. And I've been working on the Old West. And this one I'm stitching 1/1 on 32 count. So the stitches are tiny, tiny, tiny. And I'm recharting it. Here's my progress. This is on fabric called the golden, I think golden needle is the color of the fabric. This is not showing up well. It's so pretty. But I am recharting everything to reflect Fort Worth, Texas, because that's where I live. So the cowboy will become a cowgirl because I'm a horseman. These trees will not be pine trees. I've stitched them differently. In fact, I think I've already stitched one of them. Yeah, it's not a pine tree. And so that will be the Trinity River. This building will become the Stock Exchange rather than the Alamo. So I'm just changing it to have a Fort Worth theme, but it is really cute. And that's a Little House Needleworks design that hopefully I'll pull out this summer also. I have gotten a very small start on Modern Folk Embroidery, the Japanese sampler. Small, guys, but I've really enjoyed this. It's monochromatic, and I'm using a blend of two kind of neutral blue DMCs, and I've really enjoyed working on it. I like all the little Japanese motifs. They're very interesting, and it's really different than a lot of things that I've been stitching. This I'm going to be gifting to my sister, so I'll need to finish this by December. It is Homespun Elegance, the Holiest of Nights. And I have a small start, but I am working on the border first, and it's pretty stitch heavy. Oh, that doesn't work. That's better. So anyway, so this is 2/2 on 32 count. So it's pretty dense. And then the last one I thought I'd show you. My father, about 3.5 years ago, gifted me, I wanted a horse, and he gifted me a retired racehorse that had been completely retrained for Western pleasure, and that horse is just, you know, he's just my sanity. He is just the best. He is naughty. He's fabulous. We have dogs, and I have a tortoise, and we've had cats. But there's something, to me personally, about owning a horse. There's something really, really special in that relationship. You put all of your faith in that animal when you get up on them. So, as a thank you for my retired racehorse that he gave me, I stitched this for my dad, and it is not yet complete. It's almost done. She's getting there. I just have to finish the border. I didn't have enough of that dark green color. I mean, I physically had enough, but I thought I was going to stop it right here, and I gave it to him like that for Christmas, and then I went and asked for it back because I felt like the border design is so pretty, and I didn't feel like it showed up very well with fewer stitches around it. So anyways, so this one needs to get finished too, but I'm putting it off to June. I'm only doing fun, funky, in your face, over the top. I have made my decision. I made it today. It's great. The only thing that I may start during the month of May, in fact, I might start it today. Today is the last day of autism awareness, and because our family is very neurodiverse, we have, you know, a son with Down syndrome, a daughter with autism, and then our third daughter is typically developing. So neurodiversity just means lots of different brains in your family. And so because our family is neurodiverse, and the symbols for neurodiversity are always kind of rainbow colored, I thought I would start this long dog, Wisdom. And it's big and it's beautiful. And I think I want to work on it, and it's going to be my only new start during May. And it's bright and colorful, so I feel like it's still following my rule of over-the-top colors. And in fact, I've got the big box of colors right here, and they are over the top, guys. There's purples and pinks and reds, and I've got all the blues already bagged up, but they are just hot pink. I mean, just great colors. So I felt like it still stayed compliant with what I am now going to consider mayhem. I mean, this has been, I feel like the kids are, this is such an interesting time for everyone. And the kids that are living through this right now, they're trying to distance learn, which cannot be easy on those teachers. It's not easy on the moms and dads. It is really not easy on the kids. And, you know, because my son does have heart and lung conditions, we have not left our home since March 7th. So we are taking quarantining very seriously. We are thankful for every single person that is staying home to flatten the curve. We're thankful for all of it. And so when my son had his little spell yesterday, the thought that crossed my mind was, oh my goodness, now what if we have to go to the emergency room right now? And it really put things into perspective. And it you know, that's what this has done, I think, for everyone across the board, is it's just, it's put all of these things into perspective for us. And while that is great, I need to remain happy, upbeat mom, because I've got 3 kids depending on me. And so if that needs to be done by stitching on things that are hot pink and turquoise and outrageously silly with suction cup arms, I mean, I'm for it. I have got to stitch on stuff that they can walk by and they'll think is silly and they'll think is fun. And I need to stitch on stuff that I think is silly and that I think is fun. Just because it's a small thing, but it's something that I can do to keep our spirits up around here. So anyways, that's it. My recording from yesterday is getting deleted. This is my very first not Facebook. This is my very first YouTube, and it is scattered, and that's okay. This is Molly, Sensible Stitcher, real deal. This is who I am. I am all over the place generally, but stitching is my happy and stitching is my calm, and so I'm definitely going to partake this month. It's just going to look a little wild. So that's pretty much it, friends. I'm sorry that my color palettes may offend the eye. This is a crazy time. All right, everyone enjoy their May stitching. This is fun and exciting, and I'll take some pictures, and I'm really hoping to get a good start on Wisdom. Today, I want to put my first few stitches in today, since today's the last day of Autism Awareness Month. And I won't read the entire thing. You can look it up. It's on Long Dogs. But in the very bottom, it says, "In doing, we learn." And I think that that is so true for children. I think it's so true, particularly for individuals that have developmental delays, that learn differently, differently abled kids. And I think right now that is true for all of us, because in doing this and staying home and staying safe, and you know, we're really learning a lot about ourselves. What it takes to make us happy, and it's tested our grit and our wherewithal. So anyways, I don't know, y'all. All I know is that this was good intentions, and also this ship has sailed. These mumbo jumbo gargantuan, I just cannot do it, and I'm gonna save them for another day. I am saving them for when the kids are back in school and Mama is maynia. So anyways, you guys, happy stitching. Bye.